Hey, what is going on, everyone? So, today we have something that I think a lot of people have been anticipating for a little bit. Um, I think it was January we released the twos PvP Talents Matrix, right? And in February, we are looking at the 3v3 PvP Talents and Legendary Matrix, which cover both Kyrian and Venthir. So, it definitely upgraded on what we had before. So, a few notes I want to point out, right? Firstly, um, this is sort of, I guess, my thank you to a lot of you guys who subscribed. I initially promised this when we were at 1,000 subs, which I think was 3 weeks ago. So definitely delayed, but I found the time recently to just knock this out and get everything done. So yeah, hopefully you guys find it useful. And it helps you out in your arena. I know a lot of people still use the twos matrix. I kind of don't know if the matrix format is necessarily the best way you want to pick your PvP talents. I think ideally you probably want to make the decision yourself based on your comp, based on your playstyle, all this other stuff. But for someone starting out or learning, it's just a good guide, right? That's really what I want to stress here. This is my opinion, and it is purely an opinion, right? So I'm not saying that if you choose any of the other talents that you are going to do worse, or that these talents have to be run, right? Like you can kind of pick your own thing, you can change these around. I'm sure a lot of different people have different playstyles, they enjoy playing differently. So, that's kind of what I wanted to point out with that. I make these to help people out, especially if they're learning or not really used to picking their PvP talents. And it takes one thing off your mind, right? Like, if you're learning Arena, you don't want to be thinking about your PvP talents alongside the rest of the stuff, right? And I've said right like 3 times already. It's been 1 minute, so someone count how many times I do it this video. So few things to point out. This doesn't consider like the comp you're playing. It only considers the comp you're versing. So it's general guidance, kind of based on what you're playing, and you might change these. Right, I've kind of put options. If you see the dash anyway, the slash, sorry, forward slash, it means that I think there's probably room for a lot of optionality in terms of that option. Yeah. Very, very bad wording today. I don't know what's going on. So kind of make the decision based on how you feel your team is, if they're defensive or offensive. If you feel like you need more defensive options, against Disc Priest, I always say, look, we even have it on a note, swap Sharpen out for like another third defensive option. You can even do that against comps that don't have Disc Priest. You can just say, look, I really need all three of my defensive options. I don't want to have to like run Sharpen, and you're not going to get punished that much. It might actually be more ideal. A lot of people were playing without Sharpen for ages. I will say the only thing I'd note is that if you do play without Sharpen, then it's probably better to go for like Seifus. I feel like Sharpen and Executioner and the two overpowers really like sync up nicely together. So let's have a quick breakdown of what comps we're covering. So we covered The Walking Dead, TSG, Vanguards, Ret Warrior, Warrior Windwalker, Warrior Enhancement, Feral Warrior, DH Warrior, DH Windwalker. So if you see comps that you don't like, if you're versing a comp that you haven't that isn't on this list, right? We have I think like 30 different comps. Then probably just try and find something similar. So if I'm versing like Enhancement Windwalker, I'd probably look at Turbo Cleave and see, okay, cool. I'm probably going to run Sharpen. I'm probably going to run like Rally or Banner, and I'm going to run Disarm for the enhancement, or you can, switch that out as well. So look for the similar comps and just kind of build around that. And ideally, the best thing that you want to do is start to understand why I've picked these different talents, and then do it on your own kind of way, right? Use your brain to kind of work out. Okay, I'm versing DK, Balanced Druid. What talents should I run? Well, I know DKs. It's good to have Disarm and Banner. Like that. That helps a lot with their goes. Against Boomkins, it's nice to have like Overwatch and Sharpen. So you put those things together and you make the balance there, and that's I think part of playing Arena, right? Is at the starting room, you're making that decision. So in the melee caster section, we have a lot more. We cover the RMPs, we cover the Rets, the Warriors, Thundercleave, all this kind of stuff. What you'll see is with the melee cleaves and the wizard cleaves, there's not too much variance in what you play. Like in my opinion, you don't have to play. You don't have to vary your talents too much. I will say that you can probably decide with banner in particular. You know, you can switch that out with rally if you feel like rally kind of fits better. And it probably does in a lot of instances. I just enjoy playing with banner, and how I approach arena is I play what I like. I like playing with banner. I feel like it's fun. So I play banner most of the games. But for instead of banner, you can obviously swap that out for rally. Instead of Overwatch, you can swap that out for rally as well if you need that second defensive option. I'd even say with wizard clears, I might actually just add rallying cry to some of these as well, just because that rallying cry is so crucial on those big combustion goes, on your healer and stuff. So I'll add that in after this. So I've got the Kyrian and Venthyr. The main thing you might notice from the Kyrian is obviously we don't play Death Sentence. So you'll see a lot less Death Sentence. The other thing is you'll see in the melee clears SOD or Storm of Destruction as an alternative to the defensive option. And that's specifically if you're playing Unhinged. I would, if I'm playing on, like, if I'm a Venthyr and I've got Unhinged, then I might consider running Storm of Destruction into a melee cleave and just try and get that pump, that big damn out on both targets, because I know that Blade Storm's going to hit both, and I want to be doing them every minute. If you're playing Execution or a Seifus, then I probably wouldn't run Storm of Destruction in any instance. And then obviously you have more incentive to run Storm Destruction if you're playing Kyrian. So those are two pretty important considerations in the melee cleave section. In the melee caster, there's a whole bunch of options where I've said Misshape and Mirror as the ideal legendary. I feel like specifically for SPs, Misshape and Mirror is extremely strong, but generally against Warrior, against melee caster, you can probably safely lock in Misshape and Mirror without worrying too much. It will get value if you're using it and thinking about it. The main thing to take note of with Misshape and Mirror is against comps like Mage, Warrior, or something. You really have to be smart about how you use it. Just because if you do it too early, it's so easy to get rid of. Whereas for SPs, I feel like SPs can get silences and stuns pretty easily reflected because they have a very I guess it's a very obvious go when they come and stun silence. So you know you can kind of just or you can just hold it to reflect the mind games, stuff like that. So and obviously these legendaries change based on what you're playing, Venthyr or Kyrian. So for Venthyr, I've kind of given these two options. I think the baseline options for Venthyr kind of, you either have Seifus or you have Executioner, right? You probably, like, most people don't have both of them. Against comps like RMP, RMPala, Thug, where you're going to get stunned a lot, we're going to get controlled a lot, I would say Seifus pulls ahead of Executioner. Against a lot of the other caster melee, if you don't have Misshape and Mirror, Executioner is pretty safe to rely on. It just gives you that increase in single target damage. But Seifus and Misshapen are really, really good defensive options. I would highly recommend them if you play Venthyr. Against Wizard Cleaves, you're going to see Misshape Mirror be one of the strongest legendaries against Wizard Cleaves. I think it just adds so much like added disruption to your gameplay, especially if you have Overwatch Banner and Misshapen Mirror. You have 2 Reflex and a CC Reduc, and you still have Rallying Cry, right? Like, it doesn't, like, not running the PvP talent doesn't mean it's not there. You still have it. So what would I note if I was playing, like how would I change this if I was going to do it for like the different warrior comps? I think you just want to think about what each, like, how offensive or defensive you want to go. Like, if you're playing with like a prop paladin and a disc priest and you're playing prop paladin disc priest warrior, you're probably going to go with the offensive option every time, right? If you're playing something really squishy like Aflock warrior, you're going to be going with the defensive option every time. And obviously these are just two extremes, two ends of the spectrum. The majority of the time, if you're playing a cleave, maybe you'll go more of the defensive option because you don't have like the peels, but maybe you go the offensive option to just get the kill straight away. So it's a matter of kind of working out what playstyle you and your team are going to employ against the team you're versing, and then say, well, is our win condition extending out the game till dampening and just living these goes really well, and trading really well, or is it to literally run in there and in 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes kill them, right? Because we 100% lose at the 2 minute mark. So work out what your win condition is, and then sort of work backwards to find out which talents you should run, whether you should go offensive or defensive in PvP talents. Again, completely my opinion with this sheet. If you have comments about it, you think it's wrong, I'm really happy to add any changes to this. Just on the Discord, if you can flick me a Discord message, just say, hey, look, don't know if Windwalker DK you'd run this. I'd probably think about running this, and then I'm going to add that in there. I'm not attached to this list being right, because ultimately it's better if this is kind of collaborative and worked upon. If you want to access this full list, it is absolutely free. It's on the Discord, right? So join the Discord. Big thanks to everyone who subscribed and followed, making this channel really, really awesome. This is for you guys. Hope this helps you all. And I think another thank you to the Patreons, another thank you to the Twitch subs and Twitch followers. This channel has absolutely blown up far beyond my expectations, to be honest. I did not expect you guys to respond so well to all this stuff. And to be honest, like, the negativity is once every 15 good comments, right? And when I mean negativity, I don't have an issue with people saying, hey, you're probably doing this wrong. Maybe you should think about this. It's when somebody's like, this is shit. Which is completely fine. This content isn't going to land with everyone, because it's a lot more, I guess, substantive or kind of heavy on the facts, not so much on the entertainment or the high level, like 3.3K arena gameplay. Big shout out if anybody wants to watch that kind of stuff. They want to watch a streamer, and you're not really into watching Twitch. I think Magnus plays a lot of warrior. He's probably the best warrior. I mean, on NA at least, and probably EU as well. I think you have Masei. He streams as well. Dekel, whole bunch of other warriors, Zray, all these people. So watch those guys too, because that's always going to help you. Just watching really good warriors play 2s and 3s, and watching their PvP talent selection, kind of taking that in, absorbing it, how they play, their play style, stuff like that. So I know a lot of you are trying to get to the stream and stuff, but my stream times, because I'm in Australia, are going to always be out of sync. But if you see any of those guys streaming, give them a follow. Give them support, because it's always going to be better for you to be taking that in from a whole bunch of different sources. And yeah, I have, on a final note, essentially the video's over. So if you were just here for the PvP Talent Matrix, that's concluded. On a final note, we have this 0 to 2400 series coming out soon. The first episode will be coming out, I imagine, on the end of the weekend. So I was able to grind out my cap with 4% versatility. I got one option, which I'll reveal what that option was from the vault, and then essentially the big grind is going to just be doing like an insane amount of BGs and stuff like that to get honor. And I've done Torghast twice now, because I made the account a while ago. So I've got Soul Ash on it. It's kind of good to go. I'm going to make Seifus first, and it's Venthyr. So that's sort of the teaser. The goal on that character right now is I'm hopefully filming footage until I have a bit more gear, and when I'm at like 205, 207 eye level with decent stats, I'm going to start really pushing those 2s and 3s up. But at the moment, it's just a matter of getting an insane amount of honor so I can upgrade all my gear, getting an insane amount of conquest too. So bit of a grind, but it is what it is. There's not two ways around it sometimes. So yeah, thanks to everyone again, finally, for supporting the channel, and hope you enjoy the video. Let me know what you think. Is this useful? Is this shit? Would you like anything else added on top of these matrices? Are there comps that I missed? Are there PvP talents I didn't properly consider? I know that duel is one option that I've tried, and I'm definitely thinking about where that slots in sometimes, because I think duel against mages can be really good. You just duel them on combust, and then if they're not combusting you, it does 50% less damage. Pretty nuts. But anyway, guys, have a good one. Peace out.